guns. Nobody even looked up until the shooter started letting off shots at close range. According to reports, Bezu was hit twice in the head, twice in the stomach, and 3 times in the back. With injuries that severe, there was no way he could survive. A clip went viral, with people online claiming that Bezu already sensed something was coming for him, as people believed he almost knew danger was getting closer.
I'm down for the trenches, man. They know this.
That's how it go. Live by the gun, die by the gun.
For sure. I know that already. I ain't
So
bucking
saying whatever you got coming to you.
I swear to God, I heard.
Don't be sad.
I heard a lot of y'all ass, but my son, I know what's coming to me. Y'all just gotta get there.
You ain't just say stop incriminating yourself.
I ain't got to say shit,
nothing.
bitch. I ain't saying no names. I heard a lot of you bitch ass niggas. You know that. They know that.
I don't know about that.
Tell them prove it. Tell them prove
I
it.
know that.
I know what's coming. Live by the gun, die by the gun.
Tell them don't be chased. So tell them don't feel sorry for you.
I swear to God, I'm sick of the grease.
Then he said something strange that looks like a threat to his ops if he dies.
I said tell them so don't be sad for you, right? You lived your life. You did what you did. You gotta accept it.
I don't want no motherfucker crying for me, bro. Don't cry at my funeral.
So motherfucker paint your dreads red. Something. Don't cry.
On God, get wild. I need 20 for 1, you hear me?
THF Bezu was an original OTF member and known as one of the most dangerous drill rappers in Chicago. Next, let's talk about Bloodhound Lil Jeff, because the way he got gunned down was crazy. It all went down on June 8th, 2024 in Chicago, Illinois. Lil Jeff, along with Q50 and a few other members of the Bloodhound, were reportedly around the 6,600 block of South Rhodes Avenue when something bad happened. According to reports, a shootout broke out between Lil Jeff and some other dudes. Gunshots rang out, and the situation quickly turned into a big tragedy. By the time it was over, Lil Jeff had been shot multiple times and was left fighting for his life. Not long after, a video of the shooting started circulating online, showing the aftermath of the scene, showing how Lil Jeff and his homies hopped out of the whip and started letting out shots at someone around a crib. The other side started shooting back, so Lil Jeff's homies fell back. Lil Jeff didn't back down though, even with the shots coming at him, and he started chasing the dude right up to the front of the house. According to rumors, that's when someone inside the crib came out and started shooting Lil Jeff. He got hit 19 times, and there wasn't any way that he was going to make it out of there alive. The guy believed to be behind Lil Jeff's death was seen online, sitting in the same spot where Jeff was gunned down, mocking his death. That dude is Trap City Rob, who was later picked up by the police, but surprisingly, he was never charged with the murder. A few months later, the cops released him, calling the whole situation mutual combat, meaning both sides were involved in the shootout. On second thought, Lil Jeff was actually a menace when he was alive. He and Q50 had their ops on edge, and it makes people not want to step on their toes because if they do, they would go right after them, like what happened with Monty and Lil Rob. For the record, Monty and Lil Rob were well-known members of BKN, also called Baby Killer Nem, a crew that ran the near west side of Chicago. BKN had built a reputation fast by robbing big-name gang members all over the city. They were bold with it too, taking diamond watches, chains, and anything valuable, then hopping on Instagram to show it off and clown their ops. Even though they were cool with Lil Jeff at one point, things eventually went left. Monty and Lil Rob ended up backdooring him by robbing him. At the time, Lil Jeff and Q50 were also on their own robbery spree, taking chains and watches from other rappers and flexing them online like rappers always do. However, what Lil Jeff didn't know was that those he once called friends would be the ones to steal from him, as members of BKN/Jungle allegedly broke into his house and stole his wristwatches. Instead of staying low, they would on Instagram Live, flaunting the stolen watches along with some iced out chains. On the live video, they bragged that they made $50,000 just by robbing Lil Jeff and showing off the 2 guns used in the operation. This whole situation heated things up fast and officially turned BKN into the Bloodhound's rivals. Not long after the incident, Lil Jeff went live to clear things up. BKN had been saying they pulled guns on him and forced him to hand over his watches, but Jeff wasn't having it. He denied all of that. According to Jeff, nobody robbed him at gunpoint. He said they only asked to take pictures with him, and while he wasn't paying attention, they took off with the watches.
Public service announcement. On my dead grandmother's head, if I'm lying, I'm down. God could come pull me out this car right now. A nigga never took a motherfucking dollar from me.
Nothing.
A nigga said, let me take a picture, this, that, and that. I look up, the nigga then
We was all the
ran
way
down.
upstairs.
We all the way at the top of the staircase. First off, the nigga then ran. I look up, the nigga taking off down the stairs with 5 more extra.
Oh man.
And I'm like, damn, I thought it was gangster. The
Nigga
whole
never
time I'm
take
right there
nothing.
still working with him.
Blood.
I'm telling them we could keep this shit
I
gangster
got
and be
Percy
gangster. And I
and money
respect
in my
it's gonna be
pocket.
what it's gonna be. Just keep this shit gangster. Niggas one gangster. Now look, they ass sad.
I got
Sorry.
Percy and money all in my
Roses
pocket.
and teddy bears.
Stupid ass little boy. Niggas ain't even real robbers.
After that, things got serious, and the Bloodhounds decided to get back. On Friday, January 26, 2024, Monty and another BKN Jungle member, Lil Rob, were at Innovations High School in downtown Chicago, in an area known as The Loop. This happened just hours after Monty had posted his location online while flexing the stolen watch and chain. Around 12:30 p.m., Monty, Lil Rob, and a few other students were leaving the school, probably heading out for lunch. As they walked near the Washington/Wabash area, a dark-colored SUV suddenly pulled up. Someone jumped out with a gun and started firing at Monty and Lil Rob, letting off multiple shots before getting back into the SUV and speeding away. Lil Jeff later went live and talked about the shooting, even suggesting that he was the one behind the hit. He didn't go into full detail, but the way he spoke made it clear that he was taking credit for what happened.
The shit will start happening, and y'all know this by now. I went black for like a week, and poof,
So where you at?
gotta go. After that one, poof, I came back, poof. Long live the.
However, after all these, he was caught off guard and was gunned down while trying to jump into his ops. And his story isn't the only one that ended that way. THFTP became the center of one of the most shocking and brutal things in Chicago's gang history. Many believed his was connected to the disrespectful diss tracks he had released, leading people to assume the hit was gang-related. On February 8, 2024, THFTP had just picked up his daughters from school. He was walking down the street with them and a woman believed to be his girlfriend on the west side of Chicago when 2 shooters pulled up and opened fire. It's unclear what TP might have done to trigger such an attack. FYB trigger? Rumor has it that after he posted his live location on Instagram, that slip-up made it easy for his ops to track him down. On Saturday, around 5 p.m., a shootout erupted on the 5500 block of South Bishop Street in Englewood. According to police, 2 men exchanged gunfire and both were struck. They were rushed to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but neither survived. Later, it was revealed that one of the men involved in the shootout was FYB DJ. DJ was killed in front of his mom's house, which made the situation even more heartbreaking. 2 days after his death, a candlelight vigil was planned in his honor, but instead of doing that, it led to even more violence. From the little information available, it said that DJ was on a shootout with his ops, but in a twist that shocked a lot of people, FYB Trigger was allegedly by someone from his own crew. Apparently, the situation around FYB Trigger's death wasn't as simple as him accidentally revealing his location at his brother's memorial. According to what's being said online, FYB Monte, Benji, and Thad, and a few others were hanging out with another FYB member who hasn't really been around the crew in a long time. Nobody has confirmed exactly who that person was, but this detail is what started the whole situation. Monte was trying to cool everything down between Trigger and the dude, but Trigger had a lot on his chest. Not only was the guy accused of snitching on FYB DJ, he was also allegedly in Trigger's baby mama's DMs. And this wasn't just any girl. This was the woman who once took a pipe case for Trigger, someone he held to a higher standard. Rumor even has it that the guy was messaging another one of Trigger's girls too. From what people say, things escalated fast. It was rumored that Trigger tried to grab the dude's first gun, thinking he could disarm him. But before he even realized what was happening, the other guy had already pulled out a second gun and fired the first shot, hitting Trigger. And after that first bullet, Trigger reportedly slipped and fell. Witnesses claim he started letting off shots wildly, not intentionally shooting up the crowd, but firing at the person who shot him, which ended up hitting several other people in the process. Monte got hit in the leg. A few others in that house were struck as well. Rumors also say Trigger didn't die immediately. After being rushed to the hospital, he actually got up off the operating table multiple times before collapsing for the last time. Some people from the scene also say Trigger managed to make it to his car after being shot, grabbed his AK-47 from the back seat, and sprayed the house before collapsing again. FYBJ Maine later came online to clear the air. He explained that the whole situation started when Trigger allegedly took one of FYB Mozzie's guns, the same FYB member who hadn't been around much lately. According to J Main, things escalated fast, and Mazzie ended up shooting Trigger in what he claimed was self-defense, using a second gun he still had on him.
Trigger was trying to take Mozzie's gun, and Mozzie ended up upping another gun, and I guess hitting on phone. I guess, you feel me? Like, that's like, I guess Trigger up a gun on Mozzie. Mozzie up that bitch on. Put it like this is how I heard it played out. And when I say heard, the internet hit different. So, damn. Trigger up on phone. This is how it really played out on phone. Let me stop flying. Trigger up on phone. However he up on game, imagine when Trigger up on phone, he must lack a little bit on phone. Like, let's say somebody probably opened the door to the side of him, so he trying to see who that is come through the door. As soon as he looked to the left, Mozzie already up another gun on him on phone. Whole time, this first gun was Mozzie's gun, because he was like, yeah, you know how when the guy like, let me see that bitch, you give it to him. Now your shit took on phone. Mozzie looked to the left on phone. Now Trigger up and on phone. Mozzie looked to, Trigger looked to the left. Now Mozzie up his pipe. But this time, Mozzie don't hesitate on phone. He blew him down on phone. So, in that situation, is Mozzie wrong? Will Mozzie be charged for this? Because a lot of people saying it's self-defense, bro.
When the news first broke about his death, the streets immediately started talking. The first rumor was that the ops had seen his location on social media and pulled up on him. But as more details emerged from people close to the situation, a different story began circulating. According to them, it wasn't the ops at all. It was someone he actually knew. The death of FBG Duck sent shockwaves through Chicago and sparked one of the most intense chapters in the ongoing gang war between his crew and their longtime ops. Duck, a major figure in the Flyboy gang, FBG, was gunned down in August 2020, a moment that left the entire city talking. What made his murder even more shocking was where it happened. Duck was shot in broad daylight on Oak Street, right in Chicago's upscale Gold Coast neighborhood, a place nobody expected to see that kind of violence. According to reports, 4 armed men jumped out of 2 separate cars and opened fire from a short distance away. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic and terrifying, with bullets flying on one of the city's busiest shopping blocks. And what made everything even more intense was the timing. Just a month before the incident, Duck had been dissing his ops on his tracks. For example, in one of his tracks titled Exposing Me Remix, where Duck was already one of O Block's top ops, and the way he kept dissing their dead homies only made the target on his back even bigger. But he didn't stop there. He took things even further when he dropped his track Dead Bitch. After dropping this diss track, tragedy struck in broad daylight. Duck was gunned down while he was walking with his girlfriend on the street. 2 cars pulled up and some dude hopped out and started letting off shots. Duck was hit in both the chest and the neck, and the injuries were so severe that he didn't make it. He right there on the scene. As soon as the news hit the internet, rumors exploded, with many people immediately pointing fingers at O Block. At the time, there wasn't any solid proof to support those claims. It was all just speculation. But that changed in October 2021, when Chicago police revealed new evidence and arrested 5 men from O Block in connection to Duck's murder. That moment confirmed what the streets had already been whispering for months, and it officially tied the case to one of the most notorious blocks in Chicago. And on the streets, Duck's people weren't letting anything slide. FBG Young even went on Instagram Live hinting that the get back was coming, letting everyone know the war was far from over. Mo3.
A Dallas rapper was murdered outside of his car on I-35 near the Dallas Zoo.
And police say the victim, a hip-hop musician named Mo3, was approached by the killer on I-35. Both men stopped their vehicles. The victim got out, took off, started running, but was shot several times on the highway.
It all went down on November 11th, 2020. Melvin Noble, better known as Mo3, was driving on the I-35 freeway in Dallas when he realized another car was following him, throwing several shots at him. Mo3 immediately got out of his car and ran on foot down the freeway. The shooter chased after him and fired several shots, hitting him multiple times. Some witnesses said the gunman first sprayed Mo3's car with bullets, causing it to stop along the highway. Mo3 got out and started running on foot. But either way, running on foot while someone is chasing you with a gun is almost impossible to escape. Mo3 was eventually shot and left in the middle of the busy highway. This all happened in broad daylight, and even though the shooter wore a ski mask, his identity would later be revealed to be another Dallas rapper, FGC Banzobling, who was arrested for the murder. Yella Beezy was hit with capital charges for allegedly paying Quan Dontrell White to carry out the hit on Mo 3. According to court documents, White was paid to do the job, turning the entire case into something much bigger than anyone had first expected. Julio Fulio. In April 2021, Julio Fulio dropped a diss track called When I See You. This time he took things even further, not only mocking Ace's brother and two friends who 2018, but also filming the video in a cemetery with their pictures. Fulio already knew he was a target, but he didn't move carefully. He kept sharing his locations online, making it easy for his opponents to track him. On what was supposed to be his 26th birthday, instead of a normal celebration, things took a deadly turn, and Fulio ended up losing his life. Julio Fulio, whose real name was Charles Jones, was celebrating his birthday at an Airbnb. But after the party got too crowded, he was asked to leave. Fulio then headed to a Holiday Inn to continue the celebration. That's where things took a deadly turn. He was ambushed and gunned down shortly after arriving. In the streets, nothing is ever forgotten, and every move has a consequence. And in a war as deep as the one between Ace's camp and Fulio's camp, payback often comes when you least expect it. King Von.
This is an active crime scene with two parking lots partially roped off and GBI investigators still here on scene. This shooting made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the three people shot and killed was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
On November 6, 2020, King Von would be one of 5 people shot outside Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. Around 3:20 a.m., 2 groups of men began arguing out is leading to gunfire, which prompted one of 2 off-duty uniformed police officers working security outside the lounge and an on-duty officer on patrol nearby to intervene. Because of all the chaos surrounding the situation, a full investigation was launched to determine whether the Atlanta Police Department had anything to do with his death. However, this was what they found. On November 4th, 2020, King Von was in Atlanta, Georgia, celebrating the release of his Welcome to O-Block album, which had dropped just days earlier. His career was skyrocketing. For rap, Von grew up in the notorious Parkway Gardens projects on the south side of Chicago, better known as O-Block. He was deeply involved in the street life. He only turned to music after beating a murder case in 2017. That background made his music hit differently. But here's the truth. When someone comes from a life as intense and violent as Von's, it's not easy to leave that mindset behind, even when fame offers a way out. And because of that, Von had no problem engaging in beef, even as a rising star. While he was in Atlanta, tension between King Von and NBA YoungBoy had been heating up for months, and it was only a matter of time before things escalated. On November 4th, DJ Academics invited Von to his podcast to speak publicly about the alleged tension between him and NBA YoungBoy. During the conversation, Von tried to calm the situation, assuring fans there was no real problem, insisting it was just the internet blowing things out. What Von didn't know was that less than 48 hours later, everything would come crashing down, bringing the entire conversation to a heartbreaking and ironic end. However, behind the scenes, a lot more was going on. King Von had recently been spotted with NBA YoungBoy's ex-girlfriend, and after that, the tension between the two rappers became impossible to hide. They made it clear they didn't like each other, trading shots through social media posts. With both artists going back and forth, it was only a matter of time before others got pulled into the conflict. One of those people was Quando Rondo, an artist and close associate of NBA YoungBoy. Von and Quando had been cool at one point, but by this time, that relationship had gotten bad. And on the night everything unfolded, that tension set the stage for tragedy. During the altercation outside the Atlanta nightclub, Lil Tim, Quando Rondo's close friend, pulled the trigger. If you like this video, click on a video on either side to watch a video similar to this one.